Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Social Media Manager Confidential. If this is your first episode, hey, happy to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're a punchy and you're coming back every single week, I want you to know that I appreciate you so much, and I hope you're having an amazing day. I got to sit down with Jamar Diggs, who is a YouTube manager and strategist for coaches and service providers. He helps his clients get found online faster with his YouTube funnel framework so they can create an evergreen marketing system that attracts new problem-aware people to their business. And we got to chat all things social media management, of course, like how he got started in social media management, what his favorite and least favorite things are, working with clients, turning clients down, working with a team who can support you in doing things that you don't like to do, and just all of the things. It was so much fun. I cannot wait for you to listen to it. So let's go ahead and dive in. Social media management is notorious for being high pressure, competitive, and changing literally every day, which is why it isn't surprising that most social media managers get burned out within the first 2 years. So how do you keep going? How do you stay up with the latest updates, protect your mental health, and build a successful social media management business that supports your lifestyle goals? Whether that's working from home with your kiddos or jet setting around the world, that's what this show is all about. Welcome to Social Media Manager Confidential. I'm Shantae Gorman, founder of a 6-figure social media management agency and mentor to social media managers. And I'm here to dish on the ins and outs of the social media management world without any of the gatekeeping that can come along with it. You'll learn, you'll laugh, and you'll leave each episode inspired. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, I am here with Jamar and I am so excited. We've already been chatting a little bit, but hi, how are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, I am very excited. Jamar and I share a client, which is a fun little connection that we have.
Small world.
Yes. And it just goes to show like you can have multiple social media managers and like work together. So do you just kind of want to dive in and tell us like what your current business setup is like? What do you do for social media management?
Yeah. So we specifically do YouTube management. So we do YouTube management for coaches, consultants, and service providers. And we also offer strategy. All of this is done for you full service. So we do like channel launches, or we'll do just YouTube strategy for our clients, or we will do the whole shebang where it is the full-on partnership where we are doing the YouTube strategy, which is giving them the topics, helping them with scripting, helping them. We also edit their videos, upload and scheduling, all that good stuff for them so that all they have to do is just be the talent. So right now, that's how the agency is set up.
I love that. Do you have a team that works with you or is it just you?
Oh, yes, it's a team. I cannot do this myself. I have realized, and we may get into this later on, but I've realized I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a team. I'm not a finisher. I'm not a finisher. So right now I'm acting as the CEO, but also like the lead strategist. I have an account manager, and then we have a in-house video editor, and then along with a few other independent contractor video editors.
Nice. Okay. So you're like the brains of the operation, and then you kind of pass it off to your people.
Yes. I'm a full-on strategic thinker through and through. And then my team just takes care of all of the rest. Obviously, I do like the QA and things like that, but I also pass on QA to them as well, so that they can be responsible for their own contributions in the process. But overall, I'm still watching, but I'm the strategy person.
Yeah, that's how I've run my agency too. So I totally get it. I like being like the one at the top that's thinking and just kind of passing it down and everybody kind of implements it. But you still keep an eye on it, make sure everything is in alignment. Everybody's talking to each other. So totally get that. Okay, so what type of clients are a good fit for YouTube management? Is it just the service providers or are there others?
So there are others. We have for YouTube management, the way that we really have it, like our kind of, I don't like to call it out of the box. It's not really out of the box because everything is still different for each client, but we use my specific like framework and my own like methodologies and specifically for like business owners, right? And the easiest way to apply those things is for like coaches and consultants and service providers. We have worked with like e-commerce companies before. We also like work with other agencies as well, but it's more so I can do YouTube strategy for almost any business, but for the sake of my team and for the sake of, I guess, like niching down to a repeatable process that's easier for us, we strictly just do coaches, consultants, and service providers. Anything outside of that is like a custom job, which I'm open for those. You know what I'm saying? Like that's totally great. But we follow like my specific frameworks and things like that. And so with it, our clients need to have been in business for a while, right? They need to be more experienced. They have a trusted process that they take people through. They feel like they are an expert in their field with proven results. And they also have a sales system already in place. Like they already know how to get leads. They already know how to convert people. They just want to have a more evergreen approach or an evergreen addition to their marketing.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense because YouTube is very different than a lot of the other social media platforms. I know the life cycle is way longer than like an Instagram post, which is nice. But I think if it's a brand new client, like they're a startup, they're still figuring out their messaging and all of that. Would you say YouTube is like a future goal, or should they go ahead and start YouTube right away too?
So here's the thing. I think if you're a startup and you want to do it yourself, go ahead and post some videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop anyone from doing that. But if you are a startup and you're looking to invest in certain things, I would invest in the things that will help you get leads and clients immediately versus investing in a long-term quite yet, right? So because what really happens is that you need to be very, very clear in how you get clients, understanding your own client life cycle, like your own customer buying habits, journeys, things like that, before you can start setting up evergreen videos to be working for you too, right? Because do you really want something to be evergreen and found in search if you're not really quite sure that that's going to be the thing that is going to bring the people to you, or is it going to bring the right people to you, right?
Yes.
So really being established and really knowing your ideal customer avatar profile, whichever we want to call it, right? Knowing them, knowing their objections, knowing what's keeping them up at night, knowing how you can really help them, being clear on that messaging is going to be really, really important.
Yes, totally agree. And I think even when you work with clients on other platforms, like when they're more established and they know all of those things, being their social media manager and like creating content for them and all that is so much easier versus them having no idea who their audience is or like what they're trying to do or like.
I've had horror stories. But so before I came to that realization that like, oh no, honey, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what's happening. Like I'm over here thinking, oh, I can make a strategy. I mean, but then what happens is they don't believe in their expertise. And now I'm asking them to go onto camera, speak about this topic for just like 5 to 7 minutes. And they're like, I don't even know what to say. What do you mean you don't know what to say? And then they want me to tell them what to say. I'm like, that's not how this works, hun. This is not how this works.
You're the expert here, not me.
I'm here to just amplify you, right? I'm here to amplify the expertise.
Yeah.
If there's no expertise, I can't amplify.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things, like when you first get started as a social media manager, like you're excited. You're like, someone wants to hire me to do this service. Like, I'm so excited. Of course I'm going to do it. Like, $300 or whatever our low packages we decide are, that's like exciting. And so we're like, yeah, let's go ahead with it. And it doesn't matter whether like our clients know what they're doing or what it is they're selling, or like they're still trying to figure out what even they want to sell and who wants to buy it. And it's like, if they come to me and they were just like, oh yeah, I just, I want to market to moms. Like now I know that's not specific enough. But back then I was like, yeah, sure, we'll market to every mom that's out there. And like those strategies didn't work because the client didn't know enough. More market research and like social proof and all that needed to be done. But I didn't know that back then. And I'm sure you didn't either. It's kind of one of those like rites of passage you get when you become one social media manager. You got to work through those horror stories in order to get where you are.
100%. Because I started my business as a social media manager in 2014, right? As a side business, right? And it wasn't about YouTube back then for me. I was just, because I was working for homes.com and for rent.com full time and like managing over 150 real estate agents' accounts. But back then it was more about quantity over quality. You know, it was the Wild Wild West back then. We were just doing some crazy stuff.
That's the chronological feed was the
yes. And I started doing it on the side too. Right. And so, but then, you know, I was charging like $200 a month for social media management, and then I was getting burnt out. I was finding people up on Craigslist. It was just wow over there. Right. And then I got burnt out really quickly. And then I switched to coaching and consulting. Right. And then went into business coaching, because here's how that connection happened. As I was doing social media coaching, I was coaching them and helping them kind of create a marketing plan. But guess what? They weren't clear in their offer. They weren't clear in who they were targeting. And so I felt like I needed to bridge that gap in order to get the money.
Yeah.
And then I slowly became like disinterested in that. And this was like through a whole process of like, I started coaching and consulting in 2017. So I was going through this whole thing. I left my job in 2020. Like my past employer was a mortgage company. And so I was there for like 5+ years. I left there in 2020, a week before the pandemic. And I was like, oh crap. But I continued helping with coaching and consulting for social media. And I switched over to business because, you know, I was like, well, I need to make some money because I don't have a job anymore. So if y'all want business coaching, just help me kind of get that part of the puzzle together. I will definitely help you. And I did help some amazing people. But at the end of the day, like, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I just was kind of forced to do it, because if they became my client and they didn't know what they were doing, I kind of was like, well, now we're just in this retainer for no reason. I was like, no, well, let me help you. I'll, you know, force myself to do it.
Yeah. You saw a need, you're a helper, you filled in. It didn't make you happy, but you did it.
Yes, but then I did it. And then you'll even see up on my YouTube channel, like I was talking about like business coaching stuff and Instagram coaching stuff and content. And I was getting clients through my YouTube channel, like throughout that time. And it was great. And then my coach at the time was like, Jamar, something is not, she actually like found it in me, to where she's like, Jamar, something's not right about this. Like, you're just talking about content, and like, you don't really want to attract these people who make less than like 5K a month and help them with their business. Like, that's not what you really want to do. But you're talking about content, and there's like a disconnect. And then, but you're getting people from YouTube, and it's like, do you like YouTube? Because like, I light up whenever I was like doing my own videos, right? I was just, it was just so great. And I loved it. And it was like a thing that people didn't really know about. And I was like, yeah, I actually love YouTube. And she was like, people need help with that too.
Yeah.
And I was like, people don't care about YouTube. I was like, they don't care. They want Instagram. They want to know how to make money with Instagram. And she was like, well, I'm just saying. And I thought about it. And then I did a poll on Instagram. And I said, did y'all know that YouTube is the second largest search engine, owned by the first largest search engine, which is Google? Did you know that you could be found in Google and YouTube for specific keywords that match up to what people are searching for in your niche and like in your expertise, and like all these like poll questions, right? And they were like, no, what? I didn't, wait, hold on. Tell me more. What's going on? And I was like, oh, okay. And so then we quickly like made like an offer about like having an intensive, or, just helping them through it. And this so quickly, because it was like in 2021, I think, was when I officially went to doing just specializing in YouTube only. And even then I was just a consultant, I was like, I am not doing anyone's channel. I was burnt from being a social media manager back then. And I was like, they don't care about me. They just want to, but I was helping people and all of them wanted me to do it for them. They wanted the help. And I knew, like I said before, I'm not a finisher. I am not a finisher. And so I said, if I do this, I have to do it the right way. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot of angry clients that like me when they first start and then don't like me when they end with me.
That's fair. That's a very realistic way to look at it.
So I hired my team and here we are today.
I love that. I'm going to slide right in here and interrupt for just a moment to let you know that you are personally invited to join the Sugar Punch community for social media managers. Inside this community, social media managers like you come together to meet and support one another, get answers to burning questions, and build a thriving social media management business. It's 100% free, plus you'll get access to exclusive trainings and resources, be invited to special events, participate in fun challenges, get added to our social media manager directory, and more. Create your free account by going to community.sugarpunchmarketing.com. I'll link it in the show notes for you. See you inside. Now back to today's episode. So I looked on your website and you have in bold font, getting clients with YouTube is less about views and more about strategy, which I really loved. Can you just touch a little bit on that?
Yeah. So a lot of times we think about YouTube like we're influencers or creators, and creators focus so much on views because that's how they get paid.
Yeah.
Right. But we don't get paid for every view that we get. We don't get paid for every like that we get. We get paid for people who watch it and then take action. Right. And so that's what's the most important thing for business owners who want to use YouTube or any social media platform. Right. And so views is just another vanity metric. And so what we do with our clients is that we help them kind of stop looking at views as the only thing that matters. Because if you have 50 views and you have a crap ton of people taking action into your email funnel, that's great. And sometimes you only need one, depending on the offer and your idle, you only need one or two people in order to make it worth it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So do you really need to go viral? Do you really need thousands of views each month in order to get the job done?
Right.
Not really. And so really helping our clients understand the difference between what they see other influencers and creators do versus what business owners need to do has been such a impactful way for me to kind of shift my audience's perspective when it comes to YouTube, because a lot of that happens. A lot of people don't want to do YouTube because they're intimidated by it because of how they see influencers or creators use it. And so when I tell them that it's less about that, we're not trying to entertain, we're not trying to be liked. We're trying to bring in people who need help. And then in turn, they're going to figure out that they like you. The likeness will come once they realize that you can actually help them, and then they're going to give you a chance, right? That's how a search engine works, right? The search engine doesn't work by searching based upon who I like.
Right.
That's not how that works. People are searching for, I need help. How do I lose weight? How do I do this?
Yeah.
How do I use ClickUp? How do I, what I'm saying? They're searching for stuff like that, not who is the nicest person that can help me, right? They don't look for that.
Right.
So that's just kind of how I explain it to people.
I love that. I think that's a great way to do it because, it doesn't matter what platform you manage. That is a pain point that we all have, is trying to get our clients to understand what are vanity metrics and what actually matters. Because it doesn't matter what platform you're on. Our clients want to go viral. It's a whole thing. So I think having those conversations and those expectations right from the start and continuing to talk about them, because it's one of those things you have to have more than one conversation.
Yes, because let me tell you this, the worst thing, so this happens with our YouTube clients sometimes, is that they are so great on Instagram, right? They have 56,000 followers on Instagram. Instagram has given them such a big ego, they're yes. And then they go over to YouTube where they're having to build it from scratch and they forget how that feels. and then And then it's me re-educating them every single month on it's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand holding and like, it's going to be okay. I'm here with you. We're going to figure it out. This is normal. Like that client relationship and that dynamic is normal for a social media manager, I feel like.
Yes, 100%. I feel like if you haven't had that conversation yet, you're just getting started. It's going to happen.
It's coming. Be prepared. Okay, so YouTube, it's obviously very video content heavy. So how do you work with clients who aren't comfortable being on video?
So that is also one of our other qualifiers to work with us. You got to. There is no, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to do this. They can go and hire a video editor to go ahead and add some stock footage and some animations up on the screen if they just want to do a faceless video. But that's not part of how our strategy and frameworks work for like the best for our clients. And like YouTube management is a premium service, right? And so I do not want clients who are not going to get the best impact or the best ROI on their investment by just doing something that is outside of what I would recommend. Because being a coach, being a consultant, being a service provider, you convert people faster if they see your face, right? Like it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Like it's something about watching someone's video for 6, 7, 10 minutes, looking at their face, right? Listening to them, building that trust, building that authority at the same time. And you kind of quickly build that relationship with that person, right? That's how the strategy is built off of, because that's what works, right? And so now faceless videos do work as well, right? But that's just not what I focus on. And I am not interested in doing that. And so I have come to the realization that like, we're not here to get you comfortable on video. We're here to work with people who know that their voice, who want to use their voice or face to amplify their authority, get their message out there and convert people, right? So if they are not ready for that, if they're afraid to be on video, then they need to go to someone else.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because I don't want them paying thousands of dollars and afraid to do the whole thing. Like, this is a partnership. I really need someone who is 10 toes in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need anyone being like, oh my God, I just am so afraid to get on camera each day because, honey, guess what? You're paying for 2 videos a month. If you don't use those videos, hun, this is not AT&T. This is not Singular. We are not rolling over any videos each month. So you need to be completely in this partnership or you have to go.
Yes. Okay. I love that. You're qualifying your clients before you even work with them, and you're turning people away who are not a good fit. You know exactly what you want to offer. You know exactly who you want to offer it to. Like, that's where the success comes in, and you're attracting high quality clients who stick with you. Like, that's the thing. That's how to do it. That's the secret sauce. You got to turn people away who aren't a good fit. You can't take everybody.
You have to figure out what is the right offer for them, right? So I'm not saying that like, if you don't like it, that's different than like being afraid, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, but you're like, it's marketing, let me go ahead and do it. Cool. I can work with that. But if you get anxiety every time, like that's going to really hold up your process. And, and I learned that lesson like the hard way, because I was trying to be everything for everyone. And it's like, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't, because otherwise you're not going to get the results that you want your clients to get. You're not going to feel confident in your work because you're dealing with everyone else's emotions or everyone else's expectations and stuff. It's like you now have diluted your own framework.
Yes, exactly.
Of how you sell to people.
That is like the most brilliant. That might be like the episode title is you can't be everything for everyone.
Yes.
Love that.
Love it.
Some people need to get that tattooed on them, I think.
Yes. Look, I'm telling you, it will release some people after listening to this.
Yeah. We want to help, but reality is we can't do it all for everyone and be good at all of the things. It's okay to be good at one specific thing and helping a specific kind of person.
Yes. It's the best because there's going to be other people. There's other people. There are other people that can help you. There's video editors who love to just do freelance and just like, you can just email them your videos whenever you want to do them. And then, they're good. There's video confidence coaches too, right? There's so many other resources that you can do. And there's people. So you can always either build a referral network if you want, or just send them on their way and they can research too. Like, it's not like, don't feel bad,
Yeah.
Either way works for them. Like, you're not just closing the door as if you're the only person that can help them.
Right. Okay. So what is your favorite thing about being a social media manager?
I love being able to see other people's businesses from the inside out. Not to be like, not from like a nosy thing, but really seeing like the whole marketing and sales system, right? I love that. And that's something that I want to do more of because it's kind of more where I'm shifting to where it's not just YouTube or social media managing. Like, we really help our clients see their marketing as a system that works together, right? And I just so happen to focus up on video content, right? Like up on YouTube, but having them see how it interacts with their sales system and helping them figure out that aspect, not doing it for them, but just putting them in the right direction of how things work, and then giving them feedback on that, showing them how many like opt-ins they get from their lead magnet from all over there. Like, I love showing them the importance of marketing data and also how to use their marketing tools effectively.
Yes, I love that. I can't wait to see it as you expand into that of like what direction you head and all that. Can't wait. Okay, what about your least favorite thing?
Oh, my least favorite thing about is the actual like doing the stuff. I like actually like uploading
Yeah.
the video, scheduling them. And sometimes I'm also like I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm an ambivert, but like my resting, I guess, is like an introvert. Like, I'm an ambivert because I like have to do this for a living, right? Like, I have to like, I like people for a living, So
Yeah.
it's, and so sometimes, and I'm so happy that this is like a social media manager podcast because sometimes like I don't want to talk to my client.
You know what? I take as few video calls as possible. Like, I have a one onboarding call with my clients, and then after that, I'm sending them video recordings. Like,
I'm telling you, Loom is amazing.
Yes.
I love sending Loom videos. I love the whole, like, what is it? Asynchronous communication.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, sometimes I do I just have a limit of peopling sometimes. And so that's why I knew I had to have an account manager, like on my payroll, like a W-2 employee account manager, because I need her to people for me because I cannot. And they love her and they love me too. But it's just, I have a limit of peopling that I can possibly do.
Right. That's totally fair. And I think that's where hiring people who enjoy the things that we don't necessarily enjoy or, want to spend a bunch of our time or energy on is helpful. Like, grow a team, outsource. You don't have to control it all. You don't have to be everything for everyone, including on your own business.
You sure don't. Because, honey, let me tell you, I'll do the keyword research. I will do the titles. I love having the strategy calls with my clients. But when it comes to the other stuff in the weeds, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I have the processes all set up. Everyone knows what to do. Y'all go ahead and do it. I'll just audit, I do just surprise audits.
There you go. I mean, that's the way to set it up. Is there anything you wish someone had told you before you got started?
Oh, that it doesn't matter what your prices are. It will always be expensive to someone.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I even struggle with that still now, right? Because I'm so used to, you've learned about my whole past. It was just me, right? As a solo person. And now I have a team. And so when I price my services, I have to factor in the payroll and things like that. And so it's higher. It is higher, but our clients also get a lot of support. Like, if someone's sick, someone else can, everything keeps rolling. versus if you hire just one person, if they're down, honey, they down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if something happens, but I still sometimes have to kind of wrap my head around like our proposals or things like that, just because it's only been like almost 2 years since we started like the actual agency side. And so it's just like me factoring in like other expenses and calculating that and then making sure that profit margins are like appropriate. And then I look at the number and I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't think it. In my head, I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't see it but then it makes sense. Yeah. So it's just like, me dealing with my own like past me as a solo person versus having a team. Prices look different. They have to be different.
Yeah. I mean, and your skill set has increased and like your expertise and all that. So like your price can reflect that as well. I'm sure your clients are getting higher quality now than they were originally. So like all of that factors into running a business.
100%. So that's what I would say. Like, just don't sweat the price. The price is the price. I get it. Now, what they probably need to sweat is if the offer doesn't match the price, then we got another thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be pricing is the price and then the offer is just not matching,
Right. Yeah, you got to figure out the price and what you want to offer and make sure it matches up. But yeah. Oh my gosh, you said so many amazing things. Where can people find you to connect with you?
Yes. So y'all can find me on Instagram for like real time stuff at Jamar Diggs. You can also find me on YouTube at Jamar Diggs as well. Yeah. Like I would love to connect with everyone. Like send me a little DM, tell me what you liked in the podcast and let's chat some more.
Yes, I love that. Okay. And I will link them all in the show notes for everybody. So you can just click over and go connect with him. And I know you also offer like courses for YouTube, like strategy and stuff. I think that might be helpful for people who want to get into it.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you mentioned that. I was like, talk to me on. Yes, I actually have like a few courses up on YouTube. It's great for social media managers because you can use those same resources. And if you want to start learning more about YouTube and how to offer it to your clients, I give you like my framework. I give you like my templates. I give you like my whole process for like scripting videos and how to do keyword research and all that good stuff inside those courses and trainings. And so definitely take a look at that.
Yes. And I'll link that too so people can explore their options. This was so good. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Like, I love just chatting about the real stuff that happens. So like, please like have me come back. We can do another look. This is fun to me. I love it.
Yes. Let me know what questions you have for Jamar and we can bring them back for a part 2 and discuss those things. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Definitely go click on his links, connect with him on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, click his links for his courses. He is so much fun. Can't wait for you to connect with him. And if you have any friends who are social media managers and they want to connect, they want some support, they want to feel like they're not so alone, share the link to this episode with them and help them out. And if you're not already following this podcast, make sure you hit the follow button or the plus button in Apple Podcasts. You can get brand new episodes delivered straight to your podcast app every Friday. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Learn more about my digital template shop, online courses, and mentorship program by going to my website at sugarpunchmarketing.com. And while you're there, make sure you join my safe, supportive community created exclusively for social media managers. It's 100% free to join and packed with really amazing resources, trainings, and people. See you next time.